Hello everyone, I am Alka193 and welcome to a new Pokemon Vortex tutorial video. This one's been in the make for a long time in a sense. It's been on the top of my list. Today, I'm talking about happiness. The happiness stat of Pokemon. How does it work? And how do you get more happiness quickly? Let's look at what happiness really is. The happiness stat is based on the friendship stat in the original games. Now, in the original games, it's important for evolutions, but also for the power of the move's frustration and return. And you can increase the friendship level by leveling up a Pokemon, by grooming it, by using certain items on it. And there are various ways to increase it, but also decrease it. For example, if you let it faint, it'll lose some of it. Almost all of that does not exist here within Pokemon Vortex. In Pokemon Vortex, happiness, again, based on the friendship stat, it's called something different, friendship and happiness, but it's basically the same thing, just with less ways to change it, to alter it. Um, the friendship, no, the happiness stat, yeah, I need to get it right because I keep mixing the two up. The happiness stat in Pokemon Vortex is, in a sense, quite simple. I use a points and a hearts system. Now if you take a look at this ace, my shiny Spiritomb here on my team, it has 4 happiness hearts, 3 red ones and then a blue one. Happiness is earned after each battle a Pokemon wins. Now it isn't that it gains a happiness heart. It's not that easy. Every battle a Pokemon wins, and that can be a battle that it does on its own. It can participate together with others. As long as it participates in a battle that is won, a Pokemon gains either 1 or 2 happiness points. To get to a heart, you need 73 points. If you're unlucky, because it's 50-50 chance, random if it's 1 or 2 points per battle, and that can change every battle. It's a newly calculated random number every time. So at worst, you get the 1 every time, which means you need to do 73 battles to get to 1 heart. At best, if you keep getting the 2, you just need 37 battles. Because 37 times 2 is 74, you have enough for that first heart. And that then keeps going for the second and the third heart. Again, you need 73 added on for the second heart, so a total of, what is it, 146? And then you need another 73 for this heart. The final heart isn't as big. The final heart needs less because it does go towards a total of 255 happiness points. Now, what is the happiness really important for? Because, yeah, sure, Spiritomb is happy because I've used it in a lot of battles, yay. But what's it for? Evolutions. The only thing that the happiness stat is important for in Pokemon Vortex is evolutions. No, the move for Return and Frustration, those moves have a set power. They're not going to change based on your Pokemon's happiness. It is important for evolutions. For example, my Dark Meowth Alolan right here must be at level 3 happiness or higher to evolve. Most happiness evolutions happen at level 3 or above happiness. Here are all Pokemon that evolve via happiness, and there's quite a lot of them actually. Golbat to Crobat, Alolan Meowth to Alolan Persian, Chansey to Blissey, Eevee to Umbreon and Eevee to Espeon. Which one it evolves into depends on the time of day. Eevee to Sylveon is a special case, they'll get to that in a moment. Pichu to Pikachu. Christmas Pichu to Christmas Pikachu, although that was only available during some events. Not currently available. Clefairy to Clefairy, Igglybuff Jigglypuff, Togepi Togetic, Azurill Meryl, Buddy Roselia, Baneri Lopunny, Chingling Chimecho, Munchlax Snorlax, Riolu Lucario. As you can see, a lot of the baby Pokemon are here. Because a lot of the baby Pokemon, especially Togepi, Clef, Igglybuff, they were introduced in the generation that happiness evolutions became a thing. That happiness even became a stat, a proper stat. Because actually, yeah, it was first introduced in Yellow with the Pikachu, sort of. Yeah, it became a proper stat in Gen 2. We also have Woobat to Subat, Swatloon to Leavanny, Type Null to Silvally, a legendary that evolves via the happiness stat. That's the only one. And then Snom to Frostmoth as well. So you just battle a bunch with it, and then you get happiness. That sounds simple enough. And I've battled loads of times with Scorcher. You've seen ever since the last scavenger hunt event, like half a year or even more ago, I've battled with Scorcher, so Scorcher has 0 happiness. It doesn't work like in the games where you gain the happiness also by walking, by using it a lot. No. As it says here, you need to win a battle to gain those happiness points. And I've won a few battles, I guess, with Scorcher to train it up to level 19, but not beyond that. You need to win a battle. So, what I'm going to do in this video, because I want to show you as detailed and as exact as possible how this process works, I'm going to train up this Dark Meowth Alolan, which hasn't battled a single time, therefore has 0 happiness points. By the way, you can't check the exact happiness points a Pokemon has, just the amount of hearts. I'm aiming for 3 hearts of happiness so that it can evolve, because I want to complete my Pokedex, and therefore this thing also needs to evolve. One thing I should note here is that as I'm recording this, there is an event going on, a Valentine's Day event, that doubles the happiness gain from trainer battles. I will be battling trainers. Due to this, I will gain them twice as quickly. So if I would have gotten 1 happiness point, I would get 2. If I would have gotten 2, I would have gotten 4. Under normal conditions, if you're watching this a few days after it's uploaded, or any time in the future, it's the normal 1 and 2 that I explained earlier. But I'll gain 2 or 4, so for me in this video, it'll go by a little bit quicker. Now, there are 2 different ways to do it in a standard scenario. You could battle any member, find someone with 1 or 2 Pokemon, just quickly beat them, especially if you don't care about the EXP. Another way to do it, and actually I'll just put my Meowth at the front, maybe it can work. What you could do is just walk around in the maps, you find a Pokemon, you battle the Pokemon, you beat the Pokemon, go back to the maps, find another wild Pokemon, fight it, go again. Advantage to that, it's pretty quick. Disadvantage, because it is quick, it can mean that you win twice within 10 seconds, and to avoid bots that help speed up battles, there is a time limit in terms of how quickly you can win battles. Because if you win a second battle within 10 seconds of winning the initial battle, your second battle win won't count, you'll have to redo the fight. So that is why when you're fighting trainers, it may be worth it to fight a trainer with, let's say, 3 Pokemon. Find an easy gym leader that has 3 Pokemon or something like that. And that might be the way to go. So I'm going to train up my Dark Meowth. It is still quite a long time. Even in this happiness gain event, like with increased happiness, it can still take a long time, because it is a pretty long process, and one could call it tedious, to get all these happiness points going because of how many fights you have to do. In a normal scenario, that's about 100 battles at minimum, and it can go all the way up to like just over 200 battles if you're unlucky. So I'll be showing you the first few battles, then skip ahead a bit, and then show you the end. Just to save some time, I feel it is not necessary to show the entire process for the video. But I will be keeping notes of how many battles exactly I have done. I will check back on my happiness hearts regularly and tell you exactly how many battles I've had. Let's go. Now, Dark Meowth Alolan is a dark type, so I will actually, for the start of this, be going against trading Darkrai, the dark trading account, to get it up very quickly in levels. It starts at level 11, so I think it'll be 2 or 3 battles before it hits level 100. I'll get loads of EXP and loads of money out of this battle, as you will be able to tell in just a second. I'm level 11. The total level of the opponent is level 600. So that's a huge difference. So over 27,000 experience, over 13,000 Pokédollars, great. But that doesn't change the happiness stat. It doesn't change it extra. I've just won a single battle. Dark Meowth Alolan was the only one that participated in it. So Dark Meowth Alolan, in a standard scenario, would have now gotten 1 or 2 happiness points. Because it's the event's currently going on, it's 2 or 4. I have to repeat this process many times until I get that first heart. as of right now, I have had 10, 20, 29 battles. And this was double happiness events, because remember I did mention that I was currently in that. So this would have been around 58 battles normally. However, after 29 battles with getting either 2 or 4 happiness, my Dark Meath alone gained its first happiness heart. This way I know approximately what my progress is. And I need to do this 3 more times, perhaps with varying luck because of how many happiness points I do get, to get to this amount. Now, you might be wondering, what is the best way to battle to get this quickly? Because I did mention that 10-second timer, and I'll actually show that off. For example, if you fight Brock, you'll definitely meet the timer. Like, the first fight you won't because you just win, but then you fight Brock again, and that's not going to count as a win because it was too quickly. Now, I did win a fight, so I'll just make another note on my piece of paper. But what I have found is that fighting a trainer with 4 Pokemon, such as Erica, you won't hit the timer even if you go quickly. However, the disadvantage with Erica is that her Pokemon might have Sleep Powder or something else that can put your Pokemon to sleep, and that just completely destroys the process and is annoying. You just want to be able to one-hit KO all the opponent's Pokemon. So yeah, you don't want to be put to sleep. So what I do is, after I've been doing something or I've checked my happiness, I fight Brock first, just because that's the quickest fight. And then I go to Misty, who has 3 Pokemon. And then I just click a little slower, because Misty can have you hit that 10-second barrier. But if you just move a little slower, just make sure you hit the buttons correctly. Let's go to Misty, continue, attack, continue. Just very casual, relax, sit back, click a little slow. You don't have to be super slow, just a little slower than you otherwise maybe would have, and you make it. I'm going to give you an example, once I've beaten Misty one more time, how Misty can have you hit that. Occasionally you might have a slow loading, if you have slow loading in general in Vortex, because perhaps your computer is just a bit slow, or your internet is slow. Then the loading in between Pokemon or in between switching screens makes it take longer than 10 seconds, and you can just keep fighting Misty. That is a possibility. Alright, so here I beat the Gyarados. Now I'm going to try and go quickly on Misty. I know where the buttons are that I need to press, and hey, within the 10 seconds. So you have to be a little slow, but then you will be able to beat Misty. Now I know I can just beat Misty because I just got to the barrier. What I do, what I've been doing with this Meowth so far, is that every time I've either hit that barrier, which was a few times, or I've checked the happiness, that obviously costs a few seconds to do as well. So at that point, I can just go to Brock again, because that's a quicker fight. I definitely won't be meeting that 10-second barrier. And then right after that, I'll go to Misty again. Just click a little slower. It's not a huge amount of EXP, but I'm not here for the EXP. I'm purely here for the happiness. So now I've won, what is it, 6, 7 more fights? 6 or 7, I think. If you also care about EXP, then using a training account would be very helpful. I'm not going to mention the training accounts much more in this video because it is for happiness. I'm going to continue training up this Dark Meowth Alolan, and I'll see you once it can evolve. I have currently had 80 battles using this Dark Meowth Alolan. Maybe that's 1 or 2 off, because keeping track on it on a piece of paper while you're continuously clicking on buttons, it's possible I missed 1 or 2 or added 1 or 2 too many. But I did approximately 80 battles, and when I checked my happiness stat, you can see I now have 3 hearts. Now, in a standard, you need, as it'll say here, I'll link this in the description as well, the Pokemon Vortex wiki page on happiness. So if you want to just read over the main points of what I mentioned in this video, you can read that on this page. As it says here, you need 3 hearts, which is 220 points to make it to those 3 hearts to get to those evolutions for most of these Pokemon. I had 80 battles, which at worst, because remember I'm currently in the double happiness event, double happiness event, At minimum, I would have had 160 points. At maximum, though, 320 if I was lucky enough. Apparently, I have at least 220, and my Dark Meathalone is now at 3 hearts. So now I can click on the plus, and click on Evolve, and I now have a Dark Persian Alolan. That is now currently on my team, and I can move on to train whatever else I have. Whether that be a Snom, whether that be a Pichu, or type Null, the legendary, to get myself a Silvally. Something I should mention that isn't in here, there was the recent Halloween thing, Halloween event where, was it Golbat Halloween could evolve to Crobat Halloween, that should be on this list as well. But that hasn't been added yet. But that's just like Pichu Christmas is an event exclusive evolution. Anyway, so I evolved my Pokemon. It didn't take too long, but at the same time, for just one evolution, it's still a pretty long and tedious process. And I'm in a double happiness event. This would have been twice as slow would it have been any standard game. So anywhere after February 15th, 2021, it'll just be back to standard happiness gains. So what can you do to speed it up? Not much. Something I have done, which I will show you. I did mention go to Brock and then click on Misty slowly. But I found that Lieutenant Surge also has 4 Pokemon. And even though he has a few moves that could paralyze you, I hadn't actually gotten paralyzed, so that might just be my luck. But even if you get paralyzed, you might still be able to attack, unlike the sleep that you can get from Erica. So what I did, the first fight is always against Brock after I've done some checks and written some stuff down. But then I just Lieutenant Surge, because he has 4 Pokemon, and then I beat him. I have to do just a tiny bit of scrolling to get to the continue button instead of being able to immediately click on it. That and the fact that there's an extra Pokemon to fight compared to Misty, makes that I've never actually hit that that deadline of 10 seconds. I've never been too quick for it. So that is something you can do. Other things, how can you make this a bit less boring, or you can keep yourself at it more? You could listen to music in the background while I was doing this, and I didn't record any parts for this because I wasn't recording most of it. I was listening to the original soundtrack, the OST of Pokemon Masters EX. The game has a splendid soundtrack, and I was just listening to that in the background because I like that. You could also, I don't know, chat with someone while just clicking something, watch a YouTube video on the side if you have 2 monitors. You could listen to a podcast. May I recommend the Mystery Gift podcast? I'm one of the hosts, so hey. Mystery Gift podcast where the hosts, my friend and I, we were talking about 3 different things every episode. Something random that has happened in our life that is interesting. Nintendo news, generally some crazy, funny Nintendo news or other things we're interested in. And then the main thing we do in each episode is discuss an anime. And discuss an anime, discuss our thoughts on it, and then you could watch it with us, in a sense that you watch the anime before the episode, and then listen to our discussion with the recent experience you've just had watching it. That's about it for my happiness tutorial. If you have any further questions, please post them in the comments of this video, and I'll just answer them the best I can. I will link this page in the description, and I will also link the Mystery Gift podcast in the description as well. If you have any questions, I'll put them in the comments and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. And if there's something obvious or big that I've missed that is either really important to know or just really helpful in this process, then I might just pin that comment and you can read that one too. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you found this helpful. If you have any further suggestions for other tutorial videos for Pokemon Vortex, please let me know, because I'm sort of in the mood of doing more of these tutorial videos, and hopefully I can teach you a bunch of things about Vortex in the process. Thank you for watching, and please always remember that you are worth it. Goodbye.